Demon Train arc on the big screen. Interesting choice. At least we know now we must bring tissues for tears. It's going to be a sad one. The anime season is over, but there's a movie on the horizon. It's an interesting choice for the studio to take, for it will be the arc that anime-only fans will never forget. Memory can last forever, and Kokushibo can prove it. This soul battle in the manga has been brutal, bloody, and badass, with Kokushibo's head destroyed. Is it truly over? And or not? What a battle to remember. With the past two chapters of Kokushibo remembering his time with Yorochi that shaped his life to this day, it's time for more insightful look on his feelings towards his younger brother. I know it's really early to call, but I did assume this would lead to his demise. I was not technically wrong, but the chills. More on it later. Although Yorochi anticipated the new generations to surpass them, the idea and the sight of his smile have disturbed Kokushibo deeply, past and present. He couldn't stomach his optimism, truly believed his generation was the peak, and nothing will surpass them. His egotistical nature resurfaced once more, proving his stubbornness to admit the possibilities. It plays a huge role towards this battle, for it will be the deciding factor to his recovery. He takes one last look on pillars and their prowess, given his overview that only boasts his ego to continuously deny Yorochi. You have Tokito refusing to let go of his sword, even without his lower half body. It's madness, but bless his soul to even fight to the very end. You have Genya, who was a human that used demon art. Kudos to him to use it, that essentially became part of a game changer. You have Sanami, who refused to give up, a character that I didn't expect to stick to the shonen's code and never give up, but welcoming for sure. Lastly, you have Himashima, who surpassed the limitation of your average human, comparable to demon, which in some ways, a compliment. This overview allowed me to reevaluate each character and pay great amount of respect for their amazing efforts. The biggest question going into this chapter is Kokushibo finally dead? The more I read his lines from the start, the more it was beginning to lean no, and it bothered me badly. Akaza had a strong will to fight, in which ultimately grant him a second wind. Doma had no purpose, so he had nothing to strive back to recover. Kokushibo's ego was too solid to break down, refusing to submit to defeat. His resolve was growing strong as well. Once he is determined to win, even without a head, the answer is decided. Second win, inbound. Honestly, it was absolute bone chilling when he started to move, let alone his words left me shaken up. In short, shit. It's a heart-racing event with the battle resume. It got me on the edge of my seat. Himashima tells Sanami they must go for broke, give everything they got, spam the hell out of their attacks until he dies. Above all, don't let Tokito and Genya's sacrifice go in vain. Sanami tears actually hits me. He truly has it hard. He's trying his hardest to kill his enemy and keep his close one safe. Honestly, he didn't deserve this. I wish anime-only fans know this. I don't really know if Genya is truly dead, but if he is, that's just cruel. Same for Tokito. It's crazy because they're new generation, so to say, yet Sanami outlives both. New generation? What's that? True, there's only one missed pillar, but he was young. To make the matter sickening, Kokushibo even cuts his arm off to release him. Was that really necessary? I know he did it to remove the sword, but stop it. Just stop it. He's already dead. It's all or nothing in this bone-chilling sensation. Himashima and Sanami have to spam attacks with every ounce of strength left. It's like playing a game that prompts you to tap rapidly or use all commands to kill the boss. Just imagine yourself just playing the game and just keep pressing A like, I gotta kill the boss. Or in a keyboard, must kill the boss. It's damn crazy. Even with the spamming, Kokushibo is slowly recovering. Then he grows a new head. Alright, what can I say? God hates pillars. While I'm referencing video games, his head growth can be described with 2 letters. GG. Aside of references, this was gut-wrenching. The design of Kokushibo's newly formed body is sickening. I really like it. It gives me that feeling of a horror game where the boss has a transformation and so you have to spray and pray. Actually, I remember now. I hate that feeling. It's a nightmare when you have to fight them with limited resources. It won't stop them from spamming. All they can think about is die, die, die. Alright, I'm done referencing. This would mean a new round of battle has begun. That is until Kokushibo sees the sight he needed to see for the longest time. I really like when the story uses the reflection or mirror for the characters to see themselves. It could mean true feelings, a life of what could have been, or in this case, an image of their ugly self. Kokushibo sees himself in the reflection of Sanemi's sword, now realize how ugly he has become. The reflection of Kid Yorochi emerged in his head, wanted to be like him. It's a touching moment that made the moment of tears all the more tragic. Yorochi had looked up to his older brother, a role model. He even dreamt to be the second best samurai in the country. Kokushibo, what have you done? In the most uplifting turnaround so far, Tokito's red blaze effect finally kicks in, disintegrating his body from the wounded area. It's pretty poetic since the red blade represents the sun breathing as Yorochi. With the memory of his younger brother and the recollection of the time where he couldn't finish the job, it's all coming back to full circle. It's even better with Kokushibo's dwindling recovery due to mix of the effect and his sense of morality. It's the ultimate package of defeat and is not without a great possible closure to his character. When it all comes down to why Kokushibo became a demon, it all boils down to desperation, not knowing his consequences. He thought he was in a righteous path to superiority, but the reality is, he discarded everything, including his honor, forgetting what it truly means to be a samurai, now realizing he no longer carries the same mantle as his time as a human. The body begins to rot, remembering the one thing that set him to this path, to become like Yorochi, his younger brother. This was just touching. I have to admit, I actually drew sympathy towards him as he was slowly losing himself and questions everything about his image. You can sense his ego got the worst of him, and not realizing how far he has betrayed his once pride and joy. Is ironic and sad. It reminds me of a series where the character hasn't realized until the last moment before the end how low he has become. Tragic and painful. Kokushibo was disgraceful, but relatable. People can't forget where they came from, even when they believe they're in the path they have chosen. It's a sad story that could have been avoided, but what's done is done. The last words is a sentimental parallel to Kid Yorochi's wish. They both look up to each other, yet fate separated them from each other. I'm almost glad Yorochi didn't kill Kokushibo. He leans more towards to Akaza than Doma in terms of attachment, and I'm glad to be the case. It's a sad brotherhood story all in all, and this tends to hit me in the feels dearly. It goes without saying, this was a pretty tense chapter. The action heated up tremendously, only for the emotion to turn up as well. The tension got me racing. The sequence was intense. Still not sure about casualties, but I'm ready to accept it. I think. At last, This was a great swan song for Kokushibo. If he were to end here, it's possible for one more thing left to cover before closing this battle. It's only a matter of time before returning to Upper Moon 4 and the final boss. And that will do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. We're very close to Muzan, and once we get there, we'll probably finally learn if this is the final arc or not. I know a lot of people are fearing that this is the final arc, but we shall see. What do you think of this chapter? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel, and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.